that.
You haven't thought it through.
They have a defense. They were following an order.
An illegal order.
What the hell do you think these guys know what an illegal order is? I don't know what an illegal order is.
Just hang on.
They're not permitted to question orders. Period.
What's the secret? What are the magic words? I give orders every day and no one listens to them.
Sam, we have softball games and marching bands. They stand on a wall. They were ordered to do something that's routine down there. It's what they're taught to do.
The law says you can't do what they did. It's as simple as that.
It's not as simple as that. We're defense counsel. We position the truth. What did they teach you?
To tell the truth, not position it.
They taught you wrong. Talk to your friend at NIS. See what the deal is on Markinson.
I already did.
And?
She said, if Markinson doesn't want to be found, we're not going to find him. She said I could be Markinson and you wouldn't know it.
Are you Markinson?
Amanda.
I'm not Markinson. That's too down.
Find him. We'll meet at my apartment every night at 7 o'clock. I want you working with Downey 2 hours a day. Get her to stop squinting when she sleeps. She looks shifty. Sam, you're in charge of Dawson. Razor-sharp professional order taker. Stepford Marine. Our defense is they were following an order. Straight, simple.
And what expert witness are we going to bring in who's going to say they were just following this order?
Kendrick.
Jessup?
I'm not going to put Jessup on the stand. I can get what I need out of Kendrick.
You put Kendrick on the stand, you give her a chance to deny she gave the order. Put a lieutenant colonel on the
Dawson
stand.
and Downey can testify to the order, and Kendrick will testify that they had to follow it.
I think that's a mistake.
Noted.
Thanks.
Tonight at 7. All I have in the house is Yoo-hoo and sugar smacks. Bring whatever you like to eat and drink. You're going to be there a while. And do not wear that perfume. It wrecks my concentration. I was talking to Sam.
Matter so to see you, sir.
Thank you, Tammy. I'll call you right back. Victoria, any news?
Not yet, sir. We still have a few more tests to run, and they'll take a while, but even at that, I'm not certain we're going to be able to make a determination.
I see.
Colonel, it would help to know what happened.
It was a code red. Meant to be
The boy didn't die from a haircut, Lieutenant.
Private Santiago died because that's what the board saw fit, Commander.
Jesus, Mary, Joseph, Jen, would you give the Lord a rest, please?
Yes,
You look like hell. You get yourself some rest. Jenny, you are Marie.
thank you, sir.
Victoria, I know you've still got tests to run. I don't want to pin you down to anything. Just answer me this. What are the possibilities at this point?
It could be anything, Nathan. They used a gag. It could have gotten stuck in his throat. There could have been something poisonous on that gag. He could have gotten the hell scared out of him and had a heart attack for all we
A
know.
heart attack?
He has a medical history that suggests the possibility of a slight coronary.
Why wasn't this ever detected before?
The symptoms are difficult to impossible to
That's what you're
detect.
going to tell to a board of inquiry?
How do you mean?
I mean, every 3 months you gave those boys a thorough examination. And every 3 months you sent Santiago back on that wall with a clean bill of health. Am I wrong?
Ethan, the symptoms are impossible.
Hey, Victoria, you tell me, what can something like this do to a doctor's career? You know what I think? I don't think it was a code red. I think Dawson and Downey got it in their hands to kill Santiago. That's what I think. I think, like you said, I think there was poison on that rat.
That's one possibility.
You know why I think that? How long have I known you now?
4 years.
Well, something died now. One of the first things I did when I got this post was request your assignment to the base hospital. The first thing I'll do when I leave is tell the folks upstairs that you're coming with me. I put my trust in you. I put my Marines' lives in your hands. That's why I think it had to be poison, Victoria. You're the doctor. You're the damn good doctor. Whatever it is you say, I live with it. There'll be an investigation into the cause of death. I'll see what I can do for you.
Yes, sir.
Tammy,
Yes, sir.
find me Captain Markinson.
Well, gee, I hope so. I've been getting the runaround all morning. Gilbert Hamilton, Baltimore Sun.
What can I do for you?
I'm doing a 2-part feature about the traffic down at Andrews Air Force Base. Say, you wouldn't have a copy of the income class, would you?
Sure, all the bases. We keep copies of all the daily Tower Chiefs logs.
Is that right?
Sure, they list incoming flights, time of arrival, passenger manifests.
I need a copy of the logbook for Andrews for the evening of July 7th and the morning of July 8th.
Got it. The only thing is, I need to see a fleet requisition form and a 710 signed by 2 officers over the rank of lieutenant.
Oh, hell.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't show copies of the logbook without a fleet requisition form and a 710 signed by 2 officers over the rank of lieutenant.
Right. I understand. Say, is your duty officer here?
No, sir. He's at a department meeting.
Well, gee, is there anyone else I could speak to?
Not for another half hour. Everyone's at lunch. I'm the only one here.
Right. Then let's go get a logbook.
Sir, Lance Corporal Harold W. Dawson, sir.
Dismissed. At ease. Harold, I know who you are. You don't have to keep introducing yourself. I thought we were through with this shit and that I struck an enlisted man without cause or provocation. Now look, I wanted to come by and read you some words of, I don't know, encouragement or something. I'm not very confidence-inspiring, I know.
It's alright. I'm not the one who needs confidence anymore. After all, it's not up to me anymore, is it? You have to accept the consequences too.
Yeah, but they're not my consequences to accept.
That almost makes it a little bit worse, doesn't it, sir?
Make sure you sit up straight tomorrow. Last chance, I'll flip you for it.
Turn up.
Too late.
All those having business with the General Court Martial, stand forward and you shall be heard. Captain Julie Alexandra Randolph is presiding. God save the United States of America.
Without objection, the sworn statements of the defendants have been read to the members and entered into the court record.
No objection.
No objection.
Without objection, the sworn statements made by 9 members of Rifle Security Company Windward have been read to the members and entered into the court record.
No objection.
No objection.
Is government prepared to present its case?
We are, Your Honor.
Please, the court, before we begin, may I ask if all these MPs are really necessary?
Are they making you nervous, Commander?
No, ma'am. They're projecting the image that the defendants are dangerous and are a flight risk.
The defendants are on trial for murder.
The defendants have not been found guilty of a crime. And I'm certain that if they were to break free and make their escape, the 4 armed guards at the door would apprehend them.
Ma'am, the Provost Marshal found it advisable that we make the defendants a top security priority.
The Provost Marshal is going to feel like an idiot if someone steals one of our ships during this trial.
Take your seat, Commander. Government will call its witness.
Government calls Commander Stone.
Call Commander Stone.
Commander, have you been previously sworn?
Yes, I have.
Would you please state your name, rank, and current billet for the record?
Commander Victoria Stone. My current billet is Internal Medicine Specialist at Guantanamo Bay Naval Hospital.
Thank you. You may have a seat. And you have been attached to the hospital at Gitmo for...
From October 1st, 1986 to the present.
And on the morning of 8 July, you had occasion to treat PFC William Santiago?
Yes, I did.
Would you describe that treatment, please?
Private Santiago was brought to the emergency room on the morning of the 8th at 00:30. He was coughing up blood and suffering from a lack of oxygen. He lost consciousness at 00:35.
What were your observations upon examination?
The most obvious things were the rope marks around his wrist and that his head was partially shaved. Further tests showed that his lungs were filled with fluid bilaterally. He had profound acidosis, that is to say, a buildup of acid in the lungs.
What causes acid to build up in a person's lungs?
Acidosis occurs when a person's muscles and cells burn sugar in the absence of oxygen. Private Santiago's cells stopped burning oxygen and began burning sugar, causing his lungs to bleed. He drowned in his own blood and was pronounced dead at 01:10.
What caused Private Santiago's lungs to start burning sugar?
An ingested poison of some kind.
I'm just wondering why it would necessarily have to be a poison. Say, for example, someone shoved a rag down my throat, just as a joke, and it got lodged a little too far down, cutting off oxygen altogether. Wouldn't that trigger acidosis?
If that were the case, you died from lack of oxygen before acidosis had a chance to occur. Lactic acidosis is a chemical process that takes 20 to 30 minutes before it becomes lethal.
Dr. Stone, was Private Santiago poisoned?
Absolutely.
Are you aware that the lab report showed no trace of poison on the rag?
Yes, I am.
And are you aware that the coroner's report showed no trace of poison in the body?
Yes, I am.
Then how do you justify your opinion?
There are literally dozens of toxins that are virtually undetectable, both in the human body and, a fabric. It is the nature of the acidosis that is the compelling factor in this issue.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, other than rope marks, was there any external damage?
Don't call her doctor.
Commander, other than rope marks, was there any external damage? No. No scrapes or cuts?
No.
No bruises or... Damn it, why can't I get that?
Concentrate.
I'm concentrated.
Not hard enough.
I concentrated hard enough to graduate 4th in my class. Where's your merit badge for concentration?
Scrapes, cuts, bruises, welts, broken bones, that good. Saved by the bell.
Did we order food?
I can't remember.
I thought we ordered Chinese food. No, we ordered Chinese food yesterday. We order Chinese food every day.
That might be a package for me.
I'll go, I gotta stretch my legs. You're having your mail delivered here now?
I called the vision and asked to see the tower chief's log from Guantanamo.
What do you want with the tower chief's log?
They said the 200 was the first flight off the base, right? I want to see if they're keeping Santiago on the base on purpose.
I'm chasing Kendrick, you're chasing Shadows.
I'm chasing Jessa.
I told you to keep Jessup out of this.
One day you're going to tell me what went on in his office.
Well, it's not Chinese food.
Is it for me?
I don't know, it just says AF40 MAM. Does that mean anything to anybody? AF40 MAM? Commander Galloway, USNR, GAGC, MOUSC. Tell me, how's the baby? I don't know, I haven't seen her awake in 2 weeks.
Damn it.
What?
They sent me the wrong logbook.
The wrong week?
The wrong goddamn base. I swear. These jerks sent me the tower chief's log from Andrews Air Force Base. I asked for Naval Air Station, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. So naturally, they sent me Andrews Air Force Base.
Call them in the morning, they'll send you the right one.
I know, just calls me.
It what?
It calls me.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone of my generation say that before.
Let's work.
Scrapes, cuts, bruises, welts, broken bones, fat lip.
Go Harvard.
Commander, you testified that it takes lactic acidosis 20 to 30 minutes before it becomes lethal. That is to say, 20 to 30 minutes before a person's lungs would begin to fill with fluid bilaterally.
That's correct.
20 to 30 minutes, that's about average.
Right?
In some people it might be more, in some people it might be less.
A little bit more, a little bit less.
Doctor, is it possible for a person to have an affliction, some sort of condition, which might, in the case of this person, actually speed up the process of acidosis dramatically?
Certainly.
What would some of those conditions be?
Well, if the person had a coronary disorder or a cerebral disorder, it is possible that their lungs may begin to bleed before they had a chance to suffocate. Mind you, it would have to be a serious condition.
Is it possible for a person to have a serious coronary condition where the initial warning signs were so mild as to escape a physician during a routine medical exam?
Possibly. There would still be symptoms, though.
And what would some of those symptoms be?
There are many symptoms of a coronary disorder.
Are chest pains, shortness of breath, and fatigue among them?
Yes.
Commander, is that your signature?
Yes, it is.
This is an order for Santiago to be put on restricted duty for a period of 4 weeks. Doctor, would you please read your handwritten remarks at the bottom of the page?
Initial testing negative. Patient complains of chest pains, shortness of breath, fatigue. Is restricted from running distances over 5.
Thank you, Commander. No further questions.
Commander, you have held license to practice medicine for 12 years. You are published in various medical journals. You have been board certified in internal medicine. You are chief of internal medicine at a hospital that serves over 8,000 men. In your professional expert opinion, was Willie Santiago poisoned?
Object. Calls for speculation.
In this courtroom, Commander Stone's opinion is in speculation as she is an expert medical witness.
Has the witness been admitted as an expert?
At this time, the government makes a motion to admit Commander Stone as an expert medical witness.
Defense objects.
Overruled. The court will hear the doctor's opinion.
Your Honor, Commander Stone is an internist, not a criminologist. And her testimony under cross-examination has only demonstrated that the medical facts are simply inconclusive.
Nonetheless, I'd like to hear the doctor's opinion.
Ma'am, the defense strenuously objects. I request the sidebar so that Her Honor might have the opportunity to hear discussion before ruling on the objection.
The objection of the defense has been heard and overruled.
Exception.
Noted.
Commander, in your professional, expert medical opinion, was Willie Santiago poisoned?
Yes.
Thank you, doctor. No further questions.
Commander Stone, you may step down.
While the government reserves their right to call rebuttal witnesses should the need arise, we rest our case.
Is defense ready to present its case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Very well. This court will stand in recess until 1000 hours, this Monday, August the 19th.
Turn hut! Dismissed!
You strenuously object. Is that how it works? Objection! Overruled. No, I strenuously object. But if you strenuously object, all right, let me take a moment to reconsider.
Look, I got it in the record.
You also got it in the jury's head that we're afraid of the doctor. You objected once to remind them that her testimony hasn't been proven. But any more than that, it looks like this great case that we built was just a lot of fancy lawyer tricks. It's just the difference between paper law and trial. I'm sorry, I'm just in a pissy mood. Yes, I'm right. He's right, but it doesn't matter. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm gonna go call my wife.
Why do you hate them so much?
They beat up on a weakling. And that's all they did. The rest is smoke-filled coffeehouse crap. They tormented and tortured a weaker kid. And it wasn't just that night, read the letters. It was 8 months. And you know what? I bet it was his whole life. They beat him up and they killed him. And why? Because he couldn't run very fast. I'm off duty now. Don't ask me to be pals with these guys.
Sam, do you think the argument we're going to make on Monday will be legally sound?
I think the argument we're going to make on Monday is morally reprehensible. I'm not a judge, Sam. I'm not a jury, and I'm sure not a prosecutor. So that pretty much makes me the one person in the room who is honor-bound to do things which are morally reprehensible. Okay, everybody take the night off. Jenny, no. I mean, go see Laura. Go see your daughter. Joe, you do whatever it is you do when you're not here. We'll start working on Howard tomorrow.
Shouldn't
No. Take the night off. I'll see you in the morning. He's just tired. He'll be fine. I'll see you tomorrow.
How much damage did I cause? With the doctor?
Doesn't matter.
Are you saying it doesn't matter because I didn't cause that much damage? Or it doesn't matter because it's water under the bridge?
It doesn't matter because we'll never know. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Good. That's a good attitude.
Thank you. I got it on set. Have a good night. Joe, do you have any place to go?
Yeah, I was just gonna hang around here for a little.
Here in the courtroom.
Yeah.
The only person who's going to be around is Dickie, the night janitor, and he's asleep most of the time. Quite honestly, he's not that much fun when he's awake.
I know, I just...
What?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
You just what?
I enjoy empty courtrooms.
You enjoy empty courtrooms?
Yeah.
Joe, you're like 7 of the strangest women I've ever met. Do you know?
I know. I'm the girl guys like me used to hate in 6th grade.
Joe, you're the girl guys like me used to torture in 6th grade. Have a good night. Why do you like them so much?
Because they stand on a wall. And they say, nothing's going to hurt you tonight. Not on my watch. Isn't that amazing?
Don't worry about the doctor. This trial starts Monday.
Dear Mr. and Mrs. Santiago, I was William's company commander. I knew your son vaguely, which is to say, I only knew his name. In a matter of time, the 2 people charged with your son's murder will be concluded, and 9 people whom you have never met before will try to offer you an explanation as to why your son is dead. Most likely, they will offer you many explanations. For my part, I've done what I can to bring the truth to light. I've done it not in the uniform in which I served for 21 years, but in costumes and in shadows. At this moment, I am being pursued by the Naval Investigative Service, the Central Intelligence Agency, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and the military police. And I can't possibly do this anymore. Because the truth is this. Your son is dead for one reason, and one reason only. I wasn't strong enough to stop it. Always. Captain Matthew Andrew Markinson, United States Marine Corps.
Stop looking for Markinson.
Is the defense ready to call its first witness?
Yes, Your Honor. Defense calls Corporal Howard.
Call Corporal Howard.
Corporal, have you been previously sworn in?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you please state your name, rank, and current billet for the record, please?
Corporal Jeffrey Owen Howard, Marine Barracks, Wynwood, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Thank you, Corporal. You may have a seat.
Corporal, are you a little nervous?
Yes, sir.
You want a glass of water?
No, sir, I'm fine, thank you.
You sure?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, if you need a glass of water or you'd like to take a short break, just let me know, okay?
Please, the court. The witness has twice stated that he does not need a glass of water. May we move on to further examination?
Defense counsel will question the witness.
Corporal, you've been called as a witness in order to give this court some insight into the duty that the Marines and Rifle Security Company perform.
Well, it's very simple, really. Based upon
Whoa,
two pairs.
wait a second, Corporal. You gotta wait for me to ask the question.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
Okay. Would you please describe the general layout of the base for us?
Well, it's very simple, really. The base divided into two halves, with Guantanamo Bay being the divider. Each half has its own Rifle Security Company. On the left, you have RC Leeward, see? And on the right side is Windward.
What's the function of the Marines at RSC Windward?
They provide ground support in the case of enemy engagement and to maintain day-to-day security along the fence line.
How much time do the Marines spend on the fences?
We're on the fence for a week, then off for a week.
And when they're on the fence, how long is each watch?
6 hours on, 6 hours off.
6 hours on, 6 hours off, 1 week on, 1 week off. Right?
Yes, sir.
And are the sentries armed?
Yes, sir.
With?
Sir.
What are the sentries armed with?
Sir.
What are you armed with, Jeffrey?
Weapons.
A pea shooter, a pocket knife, a slingshot?
Oh, no, sir. Pea shooter.
Permission to lead the witness.
By a week, if necessary.
The sentries are armed with M15 rifles and 60 rounds of ammunition, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Jeffrey, what's a code red?
Sir, a code red is a disciplinary action taken against a Marine who's fallen out of line.
Name some ways a Marine could fall out of line.
Being late for platoon or company meetings, keeping his barracks in disorder, letting his appearance become substandard, behaving in a manner unbecoming a Marine, falling back on a run.
Have you ever received a code red?
Yes, sir.
Oh, would you please describe it for us?
I dropped my weapon during field exercise one day. We were doing 7-man assault drills and I dropped my weapon. It's just that my palms were sweaty because it was over 100 degrees out and my weapon just slipped, sir.
And then what happened?
Then night in the barracks, the guys in my squad threw a blanket over me and took turns punching me in the arm for 5 minutes. Then they poured glue on my hands.
Okay.
It worked though, I ain't ever dropped my weapon since.
Object!
Okay, we're gonna have to strike that one, Jeffrey, but it was a good effort. So what happened to you after they took turns punching you in the arm and they poured glue on your hands?
They took me to the post 44 and bought me a beer, sir.
They gave you a code red, then they bought you a beer.
Yes, sir.
Corporal, were you ever acquainted with Private Santiago?
Yes, sir.
You came in contact with him every day?
Yes, sir.
You participated in drills together?
Yes, sir.
Your squads were on the fence together?
Yes, sir.
You shared a barracks stall?
Yes, sir.
Was his barracks ever in disorder?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever let his appearance become substandard?
Yes, sir.
Was he ever late for platoon meetings?
Yes, sir.
Did he ever fall back on a run?
All the time, sir.
Did he ever, in your estimation, behave in a manner unbecoming a United States Marine?
Absolutely, sir. Yes.
Did he ever, prior to the evening of July 7th, receive a code red?
No, sir.
No. You got a code red because your palms were sweaty. Why didn't Private Santiago this burden and embarrassment to his unit? Why did he never get a code red?
Corporal Dawson wouldn't allow it, sir.
Corporal Dawson wouldn't allow it.
Hal, Corporal Dawson, he was Santiago's squad leader. The guys talked tough about Santiago, but no one would go near him. They were too afraid of Corporal Dawson.
Object! The witness is characterizing.
Good point. I'll rephrase. Jeffrey, did you ever want to give Santiago a code red?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you?
Because Dawson kicked my butt, sir.
Good enough. Thank you very much, Corporal. Lieutenant Ross is going to ask you some questions now.
Corporal, I hold here the Marine Guide and General Information Handbook for new recruits. Are you familiar with this book?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you read it?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Flip to the page that talks about code reds.
Ma'am?
Just turn to the chapter that discusses code reds.
Code red's not in this book, ma'am.
I see. The Marine Infantry Handbook. Would you please turn to the page that discusses code reds in this one?
You see, code red is a Marine term. We only use it down in Gimel. I don't know if it actually...
We're in luck then. The Marine Corps Guide for Sentry Duty, Navy Base Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. I'm assuming we can find the term code red and its definition in this book, and then we can move on to further examination. Am I correct, Corporal?
No, ma'am.
No? Corporal, I'm a Marine. Are you telling me that there is no book, no guide, no pamphlet, no set of orders that tells me, as a Marine, it is one of my duties to perform code reds?
No, ma'am. No books, ma'am.
No further questions.
Corporal, would you please turn to the page in this book that says where the enlisted men's mess hall is?
Lieutenant Caffey, that's not in this book.
Do you mean to tell this court that you've been stationed at Gitmo for 13 months and in all that time you've never had a meal?
No, sir. 3 squares a day.
I'm confused. How would you know where the mess hall is if it's not in this book?
I guess I just followed the crowd at chow time, sir.
No further questions.
Corporal Howard, you may step down.
Thank you, ma'am.
We'll take a 5-minute recess. Please don't anybody go too far.
Okay, hut.
As you were.
What happened to Markinson?
That was nice work. The redirect on Howard?
Thank you.
Look, I want this to end. I can't have Kendrick go up on the stand.
She's a real day at the beach, isn't she?
I was up half the night with her. She's bright, articulate, has nothing in the closet. And you're gonna make a meal out of her.
What are you getting at, Jackie?
That's what I wanted to ask you. You're putting on a very entertaining defense that's going nowhere. You had the doctor on the ropes.
I'm done talking.
Listen to me. You had the doctor on the ropes and you lost her. You know you did. And then Howard was sweet as hell with his Dawson's Protector Act. And now you want to put Kendrick on the stand to trash her to make it look like you're doing your job. When you and I both know, and don't pretend you don't, that that is not getting you anywhere closer to where you need to be.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes till the Reverend Jen. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Don't put Kendrick on the stand. Stop now. 3 years apiece.
3 years? Are you joking? 4 weeks ago, we were talking about 6 months.
4 weeks ago? 4 weeks ago, your clients hissed on 6 months. 4 weeks ago, they weren't a daily feature in the Washington Post, and neither were you.
Thanks, Jack.
Listen to me. You got tricked into here by everyone. By her, by Dawson. I mean, hell, I practically dared you. You got bullied into this, even though not for a second you thought you could win. You got bullied into this by the memory of a lawyer who might have stood a chance.
You're a lousy softball player, Jack.
Ten hut!
Your boys are going down and there's nothing I can do to stop it.
Defense calls Lieutenant Jennifer Jamie Kendrick.
Call Lieutenant Kendrick.
Lieutenant, have you been previously sworn?
I have.
Would you please state your name, rank, and current billet for the record?
Lieutenant Jennifer Jamie Kendrick, Executive Officer, Rifle Security Company, Woodward.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You may have a seat.
Lieutenant, in your opinion, was Private Santiago a good Marine?
I'd say to that after.
Lieutenant, you co-signed 3 fitness reports on Santiago. In all 3, you indicated a rating of below average.
Yes, Private Santiago was below average. I didn't need to trample on a man's grave.
We appreciate that, but you're under oath now, and I think, unpleasant as it may be, we'd all just as soon hear the truth.
I'm aware of my oath.
You Marines have a slogan. Would you please tell me what it is?
Unit, Corps, God, Country.
What does that slogan mean?
Give the order, priority, their code.
Would Private Santiago be as likely to adhere to that code as someone who received a rating of exceptional?
No, we would not.
Lieutenant, I have here the last 3 fitness reports you co-signed for Lance Corporal Dawson and PFC Downey. Private Downey received 3 straight marks of exceptional. Lance Corporal Dawson received 2 marks of exceptional, but on the most recent report dated June 9th of this year, he was given an overall rating of below average. It's this last report I would like to discuss for a moment, ma'am.
That's fine.
Dawson's ranking after infantry training school was 4.0. Records indicate that well over half that class has since been promoted to full corporal, while Dawson has remained a lance corporal. Was Dawson's promotion held up because of this last report?
I'm sure it was.
Do you recall why Dawson was given such a poor grade on this report?
I'm sure I don't. I have many men in my charge, Lieutenant. I write many fitness reports.
Do you recall an incident involving a PFC Curtis Barnes who'd been found stealing liquor from the officers' club?
As a matter of fact, I do. I remember thinking very highly of Private Barnes, not once his record tarnished by the charge.
You preferred instead to handle it within the unit.
Object!
I remind the court that Lieutenant Kendrick is appearing as an adverse witness, and that the rules of cross and not direct examination apply.
Overruled.
Any real leader will tell you the way to handle a low-level situation is to let those on a low level handle it.
Lieutenant, did you order Dawson and 2 other men to make sure that Private Barnes received no food or drink except water for a period of 10 days?
That is a distortion of the truth. Private Barnes takes some bad distinction. He was given water and writing supplements. I assure you that in no time was himself in any danger.
Please, the court, the government finds this entire line of questioning irrelevant and badgering of the witness.
Lieutenant, I remind you, you are now questioning a Marine officer with an impeccable service record.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. I'm overruling your objection. Defense counsel may continue its line of questioning.
Lieutenant, a moment ago you said you prefer to handle these situations when they occur within the unit, rather than going through what this court might consider to be proper authorities. Is that right?
I beg your pardon.
Would you like me to repeat the question?
Proper authority?
Yes.
Lieutenant, I do
85 are the only proper authority to wear them, or my commanding officer, Colonel Nathan Roy, Jessup of the Lord our God.
Lieutenant, at your request, I can ask the record reflect your lack of recognition of this court as a proper authority.
Move to strike. Counsel, I advise against testing the limits of my patience.
Lieutenant, this punishment you preferred in the matter of private harms, is there a name for it?
Object, it's called Code Red and it works, and it's no one's business but the members of the private security company.
Well, we got that straightened out anyway.
Well, I certainly hope so.
Lieutenant, was Dawson given an overall rating of below average because you learned he was sneaking food to private barns?
And Corporal Dawson was given a below average rating because he committed a crime.
What crime did he commit?
What
crime did Dawson commit?
He disobeyed an order.
He disobeyed an order that you gave for private barns to receive a code red. And because he made a decision, because he followed his conscience, because he did what he believed was right, he was punished for it. Isn't that right, Lieutenant?
No, because he disobeyed an order.
Yeah, but it wasn't a real order, was it? I mean, this is peacetime. It wasn't like he was being asked to radio for battalion aid, or secure a hill, or advance on a beachhead. I mean, surely a Marine, with Dawson's impeccable service record, could be trusted to determine on his own which orders were the really important orders and which orders might, say, be illegal.
No, it wasn't Corporal Dawson's prerogative.
A lesson you learned after the Curtis Barnes incident, am I right?
I would think so.
You know so, don't you, Lieutenant?
Object.
Withdrawn. No further questions.
Lieutenant, on the evening of 7th July, did you hold a platoon meeting with members of 2nd Platoon Delta? Yes, I did. What did you tell them? That Captain Santiago was being transferred off the base at O200, and that he was not to be punished. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Coffee?
We got the tower chief's log from Guantanamo.
And?
Nothing. The first flight out was the O200 flight. The flight just booked tomorrow.
Damn.
Joe, it's okay. We're okay. We did a good job on Kendrick.
I wanted Jessup.
Jessup's not our job, Joe. Cover-up's not our job. The order came from Kendrick. Someone else will go after Jessup.
Nobody's gonna go after Jessup.
Dawson and Downey, Joe. We work for Dawson and Downey.
Right. Alright. Okay. Do you remember the order of the questions?
Yep.
Are you sure?
Uh-huh.
You use small words?
Yeah.
Chance Rabbit wants to understand something.
We're all set, all right?
When she doesn't understand something, she thinks she's in trouble.
All right.
I'm just saying, go slow.
I'm gonna go very slow.
Okay.
All right.
Get off the side.
Joanne?
Oh.
Okay. You know, I think we might win. Dawson comes through, and then Downey. I think we might win.
We are. We're gonna win. And be sure to make a lot of ice. Right. You want some coffee?
I would love some. You can't have it, though.
Hey, I'm just psyched, brother. I'm juiced.
You are wired.
Sam, you want some coffee?
I'll take a you.
You're gonna have a you-too?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want a you. Is that such a big deal? He asked for a yoo-hoo, and it's like he's asking for the right time. I asked for a yoo-hoo, and it's like the world is coming to an end. I'm gonna get myself a yoo-hoo. Is that such a big deal? Can we drop it now? I want a yoo-hoo. Sam, I'm fine. I think we're gonna win.
We were taken into custody by the military police and taken to the brig.
Private Downey, this is my last question for you. On the evening of July 7th, why did you and Lance Corporal Dawson give Santiago a code red?
The cold red was ordered by the executive officer, sir, Lieutenant Kendrick.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Private Downey, for the week of 2nd July, the switch log has you at post 39. Is that correct?
I'm sure it is, ma'am. They keep that log pretty good.
About how far is post 39 from Windward Barracks?
Oh, it's a ways, ma'am. It's a hike.
About how far by jeep? How many minutes would you say?
About 15, 20 minutes by jeep, ma'am.
Have you ever had to walk it?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Right, I was CDL, the pickup driver. Ma'am, that's what we call the fella who drops us at our post and picks us up. Also, because he can get girls in New York City. The pickup got flat. Right at 39, he pulled up and blam! A blowout, no spare. The two of us had a double time and back to the barracks, ma'am.
And if it's about 15 to 20 minutes by jeep, am I right to assume that it's about an hour by foot?
Me and pickup didn't 45 flat, ma'am.
Not bad. And the order to give Santiago a code red was at 16:20, am I correct?
Ma'am?
You said that this meeting was at 16:20, but you didn't get back to Windward Barracks until 16:45.
No, you seen that there was a flat tire.
Were you at the meeting that Lieutenant Kendrick held?
Ma'am?
Were you at the meeting that Lieutenant Kendrick held with 2nd Platoon Delta?
No, ma'am. You see there was a flat tire.
You never heard Lieutenant Kendrick say, give Santiago code red. Did Dawson order you to give Santiago the code red?
Objection.
Please, the court, I'd like to request a recess to confer with my client.
I'd like an answer to my question.
The witness has rights.
The witness has been read for rights to
The
make.
question will be repeated.
Did Corporal Dawson order you to give Santiago the code red?
Ma'am, I didn't,
Direct your client to answer the question.
we didn't hit 45 flat, ma'am.
You must grant the defense a recess. Lieutenant Captain, direct your client to answer the question. Private Downey is my client. We're not directing the court. Answer your client. Help!
Private, answer the lieutenant's question.
Yes, Lieutenant. I was given an order by my squad leader, Lance Corporal Harold W. Johnson, and I followed.
What are you gonna do when you get back?
What are you gonna do when you get back?
Take a shower, hit the rack.
Take a shower and hit the rack.
Oh no,
Not me,
oh no.
not us. What are we gonna do when we get back? Polish up for a sneak attack.
Danny, what'd she say? She'll give Downey involuntary. She'll do 7 years. Dawson, on the other hand, is going to have to plead guilty to higher court. That's 12 to 15. And she wants an answer by tonight. What do you want me to say? That no lawyer in the world would have fought to check this out? She would have, and I definitely would have.
Then why didn't you?
Because I trusted you! 2 guys who were about to go away for 6 months are now going away for 2 decades between them because I trusted you! But that was today. That was before I talked to Ross. I'm sure you told Aunt Jenny all about your wonderful track record, how you've gone into court a total of 6 times, and how you lost every single time. Your passion is compelling, Joe. It's also useless because Loudon Downey needed a trial lawyer today. Anyway, that's that.
I still think we can win. I think you're using what happened today as an excuse to give up. I think you're afraid of Jessup, Danny. And I think you're destined to be the victim of your own fear. But what the hell? You still get the steak knife!
Get out. Sam, stop cleaning up. Sam, stop cleaning up. Do you think if we'd been able to find Markinson, it would have made any difference?
No. I don't know. Who knows what Markinson knew?
You want a drink?
Sure.
Sam, is your father proud of you?
Don't do this to yourself.
Is he very proud of you?
Sure.
I'll bet your dad bores the shit out of my neighbors, lawyers, the people he works with, aunts, uncles. Sam made law review. Sam's got a big case he's making. He's arguing. Sam is making an argument. You know, I think my dad would have liked to see me graduate from law school, Sam. I think he would have liked that an awful lot. I'm very angry about that, Sam. I know you are. I gotta call Ross. I told her I'd call her before midnight.
I'll call her. You have her number?
My book in my briefcase. Oh, what? Cut myself on your damn security tag. God, I never took it off.
If you have her number, I'll call her.
Then it galls me. What? It galls me.
I can't hear you.
It galls me!
Yeah, we still gotta call Ross.
Yes, call her. Tell her thanks a lot, but no deal. Tell her I'm requesting a 24-hour continuance to subpoena Colonel Jessup.
What?
I've been going after the wrong guy.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember when we flew back from Guantanamo?
It was around 6.
Do you remember the name of our flight code?
No, why would I remember?
AF-40 doesn't have any windows, but it flies.
Yeah, I remember
Do you
that.
remember the wrong tower chief's log? They sent Joe, the one that galled her.
AF-40 MAM.
AF-40 MAM. Matthew A. Markinson. Coward with a conscience. Why it took me 5 weeks to figure that out is beyond me, but given time, I'm sure I'll think of a way to blame it on you. Let's go. I need you to write the motion for the continuance, and I need you to prep me for Jessup.
Look, wait, let's sit down with Ross. If Jessup tampered with evidence, we can get a new deal.
I don't want just about evidence tampering. I want him to say he ordered the code red. Let's go.
You still need a witness.
We have a witness.
A dead witness.
And in the hands of a lesser attorney, that would be a big problem.
You're gonna trip Jessup.
I'm not going to trip him. I'm going to leave him right where he's dying to go.
I don't think you can do it.
I know you don't. Let's go.
Doesn't that mean anything to you?
A great deal. But listen. What if I am twice as good as you think I am? What if, when all this is over, I'm not just some half-assed clown of a Phi Beta Kappa used car salesman?
You'll still need a window. He has no weakness. He won't let you near him.
He does have a weakness.
What?
He thinks he was right. Let's go.
You're that sure?
Yeah.
He's gonna confess.
Uh-huh. You know why?
No.
Because he has a code, and he has honor. And I'm twice as good as you think I am. Let's go! Say, Sam, have you ever heard the story of the lieutenant commander and the lieutenant colonel?
I think I have. It's a story of courage and conviction, isn't it?
Right you are, Sam. You see, this lieutenant commander was investigating a crime, and she had a question she wanted the colonel to answer.
This colonel sounds like a very intimidating character, I hear.
Right you are. To some people, though. To some people, he's the stuff of which nightmares are made.
But not to Commander Galloway.
No, sir, because Commander Galloway ain't scared of nothing. She had a question, and she was going to get an answer. And she was confident. And she was relentless. And she did her job.
What do you want?
I want to talk to you about Lance Corporal Dawson and PFC Donnelly. Downey.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
I'm sorry, I just can't accept that. We braved extraordinary elements to get over here. My car ran out of gas halfway up 8th Street, and Sam had to go walk a quarter of a mile to get help. Anyway, the wife and I were thinking about going into court tomorrow, maybe saving our clients' lives, maybe even sticking a couple of homicidal maniacs behind bars to boot. We thought you might want to come along. What do you say?
I can't seem to defend people.
I'm sorry you feel that way, Joe. You were my hero, Joanne. Because from the first day, you were the lawyer. Now live with that. Colonel Nathan Roy Jessup.
Colonel Nathan R. Jessup will take the stand.
Colonel, have you been previously sworn?
No, I have not.
Would you please state your name, rank, and colonel fill it for the record, please?
Lieutenant Colonel Nathan Roy Jessup, Barracks Commander, Marine Ground Forces, Navy Base Guantanamo Bay, Cuba.
Would you please raise your right hand and place your left on the Bible? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
You may have a seat if you like.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
The defense failed to get a deposition from you beforehand, so I'm going to break the cardinal rule and ask you questions without knowing the answers.
Seems a little bit more sporting that way, Lieutenant.
Indeed. When you learned of Santiago's letter, did you request that Lieutenant Kendrick have a meeting with the members of 2nd Platoon?
Yes, why? I thought Santiago's life might be in danger once word of the letter got out. I had Kendrick tell him not to give Santiago food bread.
And at the time of this meeting, who was your second in command?
The company commander, Captain Matthew Markinson.
And at present, Captain Markinson is dead, is that right?
Objection. I'd like to know just what the defense counsel is implying.
I'm implying simply that at present, Captain Markinson is not alive.
Surely Lieutenant Cappy doesn't need, Mr. Jessup to attest to this information.
I just wasn't sure if the colonel was aware that last week, Captain Markinson took his life with a .45 caliber pistol.
I'm aware.
The witness is aware. The members are aware. We thank you for bringing this to our attention. Lieutenant, please move on.
Colonel, at the time of this meeting, when you told Lieutenant Kendrick to tell her men, specifically, not to take matters into their own hands, you gave Captain Markinson an instruction as well, isn't that right?
Indeed. I told Captain Markinson I wanted Santiago transferred off the base immediately.
You felt Santiago's life might be in danger.
Yes.
Grave danger?
Is there any other kind?
When did you learn of the letter?
Thursday, 7 July.
Around what time of day?
In the area of 1000.
Thursday, 7 July, 1000. That is when you told Lieutenant Kendrick and Captain Markinson that Santiago's life was in grave danger and that Markinson was to transfer Santiago off the base immediately.
So, is it just me or are we going in circles here?
I have here Santiago's transfer order. It says he was scheduled to be moved off the base at 0200 the next morning, 16 hours later. My question to you is, why did Markinson wait for 16 hours? Why did Markinson keep a man in grave danger for 16 hours?
There's no transportation off the base until 0200. The 0200 was the first flight off. These really the questions I've been called here to answer?
I'm trying to determine if it's possible that your instructions to your officers were not carried out.
Have you ever served in an infantry unit?
No, sir.
Have you ever served in a forward area?
No, sir.
Have you ever put your life in another man's hands? Asked him to put his life in yours?
No, sir.
We follow orders. We follow orders or people die. It is that simple.
Even if that order is illegal.
Object. Sustained.
Withdrawn.
Boy, I'd sure love to know what qualifies you to pass judgment on us. Please, sir.
I'm not here to pass judgment. The members of the jury are.
Is that right?
Yes, and they're entitled to the truth. Do you disagree?
Certainly not in principle. I disagree only in as much as I disagree that a paraplegic is entitled to foxtrot. It'd be nice, just isn't possible.
Are you saying it's not possible for this court to hear the truth?
This court? I don't know what the hell that means. I'm saying it's not possible for you to hear the truth.
Why not, Colonel?
Your Honor, is this dialogue relevant to anything in particular?
The defendant's commanding officer has just testified that the truth is an unattainable goal. I, for one, would like to know why.
Colonel, you're under no obligation to address this question.
Captain, I think somebody sure as hell better answer his question. For the past 3 months, this man has attempted to put the Marine Corps on trial. And if he keeps going, people are liable to start listening to him.
Why is it
because you can't handle it. You can't handle the truth. You can't handle the sad but historic reality.
What reality are you referring to, Colonel?
We live in a world that has walls, son. And those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. Who's gonna do it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg? I have a greater responsibility than you can possibly fathom. You weep for Santiago. You curse the Marines. You have that luxury. The luxury of the blind. The luxury of not knowing what I know. That Santiago's death, while tragic, probably saved lives. My while grotesque and incomprehensible to you, saves lives. You can't handle it. Because deep down, in places that you don't want to talk about, you want me on that wall. You need me there. We use words like honor, code, loyalty. We use them as a backbone to a life spent defending something. You use them as a punchline. I have neither the time nor the inclination to explain myself to a man who sleeps under the very blanket of freedom that I provide and then questions the manner in which I provide it. I'd prefer it if you just said thank you and went on your way. Otherwise, I'd suggest you pick up a weapon and stand a post. Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to.
Well, that is what I get for asking questions without knowing the answers.
Colonel Jessup, the court appreciates your time.
It's no problem, Captain. I love Washington. Oh, Danny, don't look so glum. What is it you people say? Live to fight another time.
Excuse me, I didn't dismiss you.
I beg your pardon?
I'm not through with my examination. I didn't dismiss you. Sit down!
Lieutenant Counsel!
I would like the record to show that the witness got up and walked to the door without being told to step down.
Colonel!
I beg your pardon?
I prefer it if he addressed me as Colonel or Sir. I believe I've earned it.
Defense counsel will address the witness as Colonel or Sir.
What the hell kind of outfit are you running here?
And the witness will address this court as Judge, Your Honor. I'm certain I've earned it. Take your seat, Colonel.
Submit for defense Exhibit A. This is the Tower Chief's log for Naval Air Station Nave Base, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. It lists the incoming and outgoing flights for the evening of Thursday, July 7th, and the morning of Friday, July 8th.
Noted.
Is that your signature?
That's my signature.
I draw the court's attention to the fact that between 0600 on Thursday the 7th and 0200 on Friday the 8th, no passenger-capable flights left the base.
Noted.
Colonel, at this point, I have an obligation to tell you that if you'd like a recess to compose yourself, or you feel you need an attorney,
I don't need an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Colonel, I think
I
perhaps...
said I don't need an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Colonel, a moment ago, you said that William Santiago's death saved lives.
That's right.
Given that, I wonder if you could tell us, sir, in your opinion, are the defendants criminals or heroes?
I don't suppose that's for me to say.
I'm asking your opinion, sir, as a military expert. Criminals or heroes?
They're warriors.
Criminals or heroes, sir?
They're heroes.
Then why, in God's name, did you go to such trouble to cover up what they've done?
Counsel!
Why did you fix the logbook?
That's it! I've put enough! Defense counsel is strictly cautious. The jury is strictly cautious. Defense counsel has made reckless and irresponsible accusations, not the least bit grounded in any evidence whatsoever. You're instructed to disregard his rights entirely. Lieutenant Cassidy, consider yourself in contempt of court. Now are you through with this witness?
No, Your Honor. Submit for defense Exhibit B. This is the Tower Chief's log for Andrews Air Force Base for the evening of July 7th. It seems that at 9:26 p.m., 2126, an AF-40 transport landed at Andrews with 94 empty seats, having taken off at 2 minutes past 6 p.m. Its departure point, Colonel, Naval Air Station Nave Base, Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. You know that Kendrick ordered the code red on Santiago because that's what you told Kendrick to do, and Kendrick followed orders or people die. Isn't that right, Colonel? You ordered the code red, and when it went bad, you cut these guys loose. You had Markinson sign a phony transfer order so it would look like they tried to move Santiago. You fixed the logbook so it would look like the 0200 flight was the first one off the base, and you told the doctor to say it was poison so it would not look like a code red. You trashed the law. But we understand you're permitted. You have a greater responsibility than we can possibly fathom. You provide us with a blanket of freedom. We live in a world that has walls, and those walls have to be guarded by men with guns. And nothing is going to stand in your way of doing it. Not William Santiago, not Dawson or Downey, not 1,000 armies, not the Uniform Code of Military Justice, and not the Constitution of the United States. That's the truth, isn't it, Colonel? I can't handle it.
I did my job, and I'd do it again.
You ordered the code red.
Yes.
Say it, Colonel.
I ordered.
Say it! I ordered the code red! Jack.
Please, the court, I suggest that the jury be immediately dismissed and that we move to
What the hell's
immediate
going
Article
on?
39.
What the hell is going on here? I'm not familiar with Article 39A. All right, I ordered the code red. Now I'm getting on a plane and I'm going back to my base.
Guard the prisoner.
What?
And please guard the
I ordered the code red and everybody's going to pieces.
Colonel,
Like that
you
name's
have the right
auxiliary.
to remain silent. Anything you say can
You're arresting me. I'm a Marine.
You have the right to an attorney. You cannot
This is
report
fucking-
what will be
this is-
decided to you by the
I'm going to tear your eyes out again and piss in your dead skull. You messed with the wrong Marine. The wrong Marine.
Do you understand these rights as I have so read them to you?
I want to tell you something and listen up. These people have no idea how to defend a nation. I'm trying to defend a nation. All you did here today was weaken your country. So you give yourself a pat on the back. 'Cause that's all you did. You put people in danger. Sweet dreams, son.
Don't you dare call me son. I am a lawyer and an officer of the United States Navy. And you're under arrest, you son of a bitch. The witness is excused.
Sound up, 1, 2. Sound up, 3, 4. Sound up, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Stand proud.
Ting Hut! On the charge of murder in the second degree, the members find the defendant not guilty. On the charge of conspiracy to commit murder, the members find the defendant not guilty. On the charge of conduct unbecoming a United States Marine, the members find the defendant guilty as charged. The defendants are hereby sentenced by this court to time served in the brig up until this point and are ordered to be dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps. This court-martial is adjourned. Tin Hut!
Dismiss!
Why? Harold, I'm so sorry.
Why?
I don't understand. It's not as bad. Colonel Jessup said he ordered the code red.
I know, but
Colonel Jessup said he ordered the code red. What did we do wrong? What did we do wrong?
Ask Dawson.
How?
We did nothing wrong.
Sure you did. We did nothing wrong. Corporal, a jury just said your conduct was unbecoming a Marine. What does that mean?
You're the lawyer.
You're the Marine.
Not anymore.
Corporal, what were you supposed to fight for? What were you supposed to fight for?
For people who couldn't fight for themselves.
What were you supposed to fight for?
Willie Santiago. We were supposed to fight for Willie.
No more questions.
Kathy, I gotta take these guys into personnel for some paperwork. Gentlemen.
Harold, you don't need to wear a patch on your arm, you have honor.
Tan Hut. There's an officer on deck. Sir, permission to be dismissed.
You're dismissed.
I didn't know about the Tower Chief's log.
People had a case, Jackie.
You know, you two really ought to learn how to relax a little. How's about a celebration? I'm buying. Sam? Champagne? You who?
Maybe later. I gotta see my baby. She must be bilingual by now.
So what's next for you?
Staff Sergeant Hector Baines. He went to the movies on company time. And you?
Me? Oh, the usual.
Just pretty much generally annoying people?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Are you happy right now? Because you have every reason to be happy right now.
I am happy. It was very nice of you to ask.
So how's the bed? You want a drink?
I'm gonna go get started on Baines. I'll hook up with you later. Stand my post for a while.
You are like 7 of the strangest men I've ever met.